Okay, welcome to another edition of Jackal's Corner. Before we start tonight with our guest, against the grain, I'm going to give a few shout outs to our sponsors. We got 5x5 Brewery up in the house tonight, sponsoring Jackal's Corner and every Jackal's Corner with our alcohol. Get your asses out to 5x5. Go to Mission, Texas. Get yourself some 5x5. They got the curbside pickup. You can go and pick yourself some beers up, enjoy them at home. You can get the growler, or you can get the 4-pack of cans. Trust me, either the growler or the 4-pack of cans is all you're gonna need to have a great night.
For sure.
Yeah.
I am drinking right now the 40 millimeter, and it stands at a strong 7 points. So you just do your compare. We got that, and we have Burnett up in the house at I believe at 8.6, I believe.
Just give or take, I would run a 9. It's solid.
Yeah.
By the time you're done with it.
Yeah. So these beers are awesome. Very smooth, so don't let them fool you. Like the United States military, you won't know it's on you until it's on you.
Yeah,
So
that's for sure, man.
So go out there and enjoy yourself some 5x5 if you enjoy good beers. Also, we're sponsored by Concert Culture, providing us sound that make this stuff come to life. 5x5 and Concert Culture, two great local companies. Concert Culture providing you with any sound you need for any concerts, private shows, parties, quinceañeras, you name it. You need sound and lighting, hit these boys up. They got you covered. Also by Snack Attack, providing snacks for us, and also the people who made the Jackal's Corner shirts and face masks. Those will be available soon. More of us just going to pick them up. So those will be available soon. Without further ado, I give you guys Against the Grain.
Hell yeah, man! Glad to be
doing?
here, man.
Yeah, super
Yes.
excited. Nice coming back, especially with something.
Second
to say.
rodeo, man.
Yeah.
Yes, this is I'm gonna join more because it has the actual video, so people can actually see who the band is and not just the voice of the
Yeah,
band.
man.
Yeah, that's.
You know, that and this is more free. You know, we don't have to go by any rules on this. We can just hang and have a sesh like I like to have, and get to know the band for who they are and what they do.
Cool, man.
So let's go ahead and jump right into this. What has Against the Grain been doing since the last time you were on Jackal's Corner?
Oh man, you name it, we got on the ball like crazy. Not only shirts, working on finishing up the album. That came to a halt because the whole stay-at-home thing. But besides that, we stayed writing. We've gotten a whole bunch of merch. Put out a few shirts and a couple of stickers, and yeah, we're just looking to finish up the album basically. That's what we got going.
Very, very cool, man. I know that we met at Stokely's.
Yeah.
I saw
Please, man.
you guys
RIP,
come in,
man.
two-man band, and you were like, I was like, so what do you guys play? You're like, oh, we like Pantera.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, but what do you play? We like Pantera. Oh, okay, so you play Pantera. Okay, I get it. And then I was like, well, how you gonna do it with two guys doing Pantera?
Yeah.
And then y'all did it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
These guys do it.
And those are just the ones that, like, we growing up, that's the way we picked up our instruments with that type of excitement and the same way they play and all that. Like, whenever we start, like, it's a different story. Like, like, as I always say, we swing that dick for about 30, 45 minutes, depending on how long we got it. Because it's just us two. There's no lyrics. There's no bass line. There's no second guitar. It's just...
There's nothing to fall back on, but I'm glad that at least John is there to, like, for me to fall back on. If ever I'm, like, fucking up, I know that all I gotta do is, like, look over to John and then be all like, oh, man, that one was... that really fucked up. But, like, John, I already know where we're gonna end. Yeah. So we could, like, mess up at this part of the song. By here, we'll get it right back. So there's, like, no... I never worry with John drumming. That's cool.
Definitely, man. And one of the things is back when we first met, we were talking about how I wanted to manage your band and all that, and I was like, well, guys, come over and we're gonna have to sit down, and I got to see what kind of people you guys are off the stage.
Yeah.
And anybody who is watching this, when this stuff is over, you're looking for a band that's respectful to book. These guys are one of the most respectful group of guys I've ever met in my life.
Appreciate that.
These guys respected my home like nobody else, and I respect the hell out of them for doing that. So
Also, some of the heaviest motherfuckers around.
Yo,
Thanks,
man.
that's some straight facts. They are some of the heaviest motherfuckers
Yeah,
around. I'll tell you that.
I would easily contend as probably the heaviest 2-piece this south of San Antonio, and
Easy.
we're willing to kind of, and we don't, and that's because we don't slack when we play like it's song after song, and like
That's the thing. We're having like the best time playing it too. Sometimes
Yeah.
like I'll see like the crowd's kind of like maybe not feeling as much as I felt, but then like sometimes like dude, I think we just annihilated. So I'll just turn to John and be like, dude, we fucking killed it on that one. Like I had a good time.
Also, it's,
Yeah.
it's such an aggressive sound.
Mhm.
It's hard for people to like all of a sudden like they already know what's gonna happen. That's not the case with us. Like we'll turn, we'll stop on a dime, we'll kick it back out, and then the next song will be, our trademark sound, nice and heavy. But then we could mix
It's got
it
its
up.
pretty parts. What
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah,
call
we'll
to
do
give it.
little psychedelic little breaks to it, and like
Yeah.
we really layer that onion out because again it's just two of us. It's hard to really
Slack.
pull the punch. When it's just two, you can't. It's a heavy weight to lift, but we got to do it. And real quick, shout out to again you. Thanks for having us, and
Yes.
Vinny D when we first
Yeah.
got there.
Hell yeah, man! You two guys like man took us in
Yeah.
with open arms, and we were like, man, that's so fucking badass. That like already we got somebody backing us that like
Yeah.
genuinely enjoys our company. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah, definitely.
and it's super sweet. Like I remember how quiet it was when we walked in, and we didn't think much of it, and then that became our home for the next fucking like 3, 4, 5 months or
Yeah.
however long we were
Yeah.
playing there until all this happened.
It was the
and all
best
that stuff.
times too, man. Those were like
Yeah.
I wouldn't change that for anything. They were the shit.
Yeah.
It was so like such like a like everybody was homies there, man. That
Yeah.
was the coolest feeling.
It was
Yeah.
a home away from home, and everybody,
Uh-huh.
knew each other, and everybody had, they were just excited to be there. There weren't people just looking at their phone constantly. Everybody was
Yeah.
talking to each other.
They knew
Everybody
it was
was.
gonna happen. And
Yeah, exactly. They
straight
didn't
up.
just show up hoping for something. Like they already knew, that they were gonna have a good time, have a few cold beers, and maybe bang their head a few times.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, for
So-
sure. And that's one of the things that I saw about you guys the first time, that you could definitely tell that you guys put work in. Definitely.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we we worked damn hard on those songs. Like,
Yeah.
we'll like, I'll come at it with like, okay, John, dude, you got to hear this riff that I made, and like, I'm thinking of like, here's what I got cooking up. I'll show it to John, and then it'll brew in John's head. Then out of nowhere, he'll come up with a drum part that I didn't expect for it, and then from that point, I'm like, we're keeping it. And then he's like, I don't remember that much. I'm like, dude, it was like this, and then eventually it'll come back,
Yeah.
and that's when I'm like, it was that one, keep it. And he's like, oh, okay. And then from that point, we just like work on it till we're like say we're not like say I have an idea, and then John's like, I'm not really understanding what you're trying to go. I'm like, picture like it's more about painting a picture, like picture like a scary dead like haunted pirate ship that's like coming in and it's like gonna blow up or something, and then like
Then, I'm like,
then we'll piece it together. Yeah.
got
So
it.
it sounds like it, so it's kind of like a scene that we're painting for ourselves.
Yeah, like every song's rather conceptual.
Yeah.
Like, we got the blacksmith. We got what is it?
Which starts off with like you could picture like some dude like pounding away at like making a sword or something like,
forging some shit like
Yeah.
the Castaway. It's chaotic, you're
Mhm.
being ripped back and forth, in the ocean trying to fight for life, fight for that.
And
life.
that's the
But-
best like soundtrack we could put to if we were in that situation. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how our music is written. Since we have no lyrics, we're trying to put a mood out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really a hard thing to do with lyrics, much less without lyrics. To
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I've always had admired instrumental bands because I know how hard it is. I mean, Pink Floyd being one of my favorite bands, their original stuff was all instrumental.
Yeah.
There was not a single lyric, and they had to paint the same picture that they paint today with their stuff with lyrics.
Mhm.
You know, and that's hard. I mean, people like Beethoven and Bach and all these guys
Bach.
that yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's because I totally agree, dude. It takes a lot a lot of like inward looking of like, man, let me try to conjure up this feeling to put out there, and hopefully somebody feels it. And that's what I like to call going out there with our dick in our hands, and that's it,
Yep.
man. Like, we just hoping that like, man, we're out there putting ourselves on the line. These guys could laugh, they could hate us, they could whatever. We're playing this regardless, man. Even if it's like, see, we played to like old people, man, and even they're like, they still fuck with it. It might not be their favorite thing. The worst compliment I've ever got is like, it's not for this crowd. I'm not saying y'all suck, but it's just not for this crowd. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's a good thing. At least we didn't suck.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of music, is that it may not be for everybody, but it is for someone,
Yeah.
and someone will feel that. It's guaranteed, especially in Texas. metal, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah,
People
yeah.
are definitely gonna
Exactly,
feel the shit
man.
out of that.
Yeah.
And we don't try to, like, here's one thing that I thought, like, everybody kind of makes it a point for it to be Southern. Like, oh yeah, we're into this Southern rock. Whatever we put out is going to be inherently Southern because we're from here, man. And it's like, we're not using Texas as like a springboard to anything. We're from here and we're just really proud. And we're trying to show, like, this is what the sound of down here, like, by, like, two dudes sounds like, man. Like, just two friends. This is the type of shit we come up with.
And, you know, and that was the really cool thing is when we first met here, and I was like, you guys ever think about getting other people in the band? And you're like, we like what we got going.
Yeah.
We like the vibe that we got, and why mess it up? And I was like, dude, that's all I needed to hear. That's what I needed to hear because that shows commitment. That shows that you're loyal, and that's the only people I want to fuck with is people that are loyal.
Us too, man. Straight up. There's been people that come and go from the band or like kind of want to get involved, but they're just really excited at like all the work we've put in. So we're just kind of like, we'll see, man. Like,
but the excitement does really carry our shows because at the end of it, if you didn't really, well, again, we don't have nothing recorded. We only have our live stuff on Instagram, which is Against the Grain Mission _ between every word. We're up to about 1,200 followers.
Now we're 1,300 now.
1,300 now, and nothing recorded minus visuals and word of mouth and us just not saying no to a show.
Yeah.
You know, playing everything that we could play and
even if
people,
there's one person there, dude, we still play it. Like we've played to a crowd of just like the people we came with and like a bartender. And the bartender's in the back all, yeah, dude! And we're like, it was for you, man. Like, we're going to play it regardless. Even if no one was there, we'd still play it.
yeah, because that's the thing. Like, we play it because that's what... We've been playing together since we were, like, what, 14?
Yeah, dude. But we considered ourselves a band since, like, man, like 5th grade or something.
Like, yeah, we're going to make this band. It's going to be the best thing. And, like, we never gave up on it. And,
ever.
And things with that, you got to be patient. You can't be so critical because you're never going to like what you
dude.
If you're always dicking yourself out. You got to be... obviously, you could be a worst critic, but you got to be your best friend, too. You know, if you're going to give yourself a hard pill to swallow, at least follow with, you know, some sort of intention after it.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
You got to solve whatever, like, let's say the technique, at least for me, the drumming, I can't bitch and be like, oh, why can't I get this roll down? I need to understand what I'm doing wrong and then replace that and get better as opposed to just, you know, finding more problems and solutions, especially being in a two-piece instrumental. You know, we got to find more solutions and problems because other than that, you know, it's hard to carry that shit. You know, it's hard. But if you fucking genuinely love it and you do it because like that's
it'll work.
You know, that's what makes you, you know, so happy and everything's firing on all cylinders and then you get the reception afterwards, which is like the greatest high. You know, having that
straight up, man. That little rush of everybody being all like, dude, you tore it up. Like, there's been shows where I'm like, man, I fucking, like, and, like, everybody can notice that, like, I'm not in a good mood at all. Yeah. But everybody's like, you never sounded better. And I'm like, dude, I had the worst time. And everybody's like, no, you had the best time. And I'm like, well, I guess I did then. I mean, if you guys enjoyed yourself, that's what the hell I went out there for. And it's not just to, like, pat myself on the back. If you guys had a good time, well, then fuck yeah, dude, then we did our job. Because it's about providing, like, the best time. Because me, personally, I'm just trying to see what, like, me as a metal fan, what would I want to see? Like just a whole bunch of like a tired person, or do I want to see like something exciting, you know, and something that like is for real, you know, and we're not faking it out there. So
and even like some bands they sound really great, nothing to take away from their musicianship, but sometimes they don't move, they don't interact with the you know, they're just relying on their technique and they're so good song's done. Here we go. Here's the thing that you just heard like on the radio before you got here, or like on your iPod before you got here. Like, but there's no, you know, there's no raw emotion to it. I mean, and that's what we bring in, and that's one thing I'm trying to balance out: raw emotion with some sort of fucking mechanics to it. Because like, it's tough. But then again, real quick, I'm super excited and super proud. I've been talking to the cymbal company, and I've been really letting them know where we're coming from and my intention to purchase these cymbals. So the company is called Saluda. They're out of North Carolina. Awesome company, great customer service. I should be getting those cymbals at least by Monday. Again, all custom. If you have any problems, you could pay the same at fucking Guitar Center online for a big box brand that won't adjust the cymbals, won't cater to the way you want, won't finish them the way you want, won't change the lettering the way you want. But these guys, it's like a Subway. You just get there, oh, I want this, I want that, can you toast that? Like, it's fucking great. and I'm gonna have a brand new custom cymbal set from these guys, and it's gonna be so great. I'm gonna have an inverted china. They're gonna throw in a bonus cymbal because they're so sweet, and then I'm gonna get 2 other cymbals that again are gonna be custom to my liking, and then the rest of the set's just gonna be so great. And that when we get that, we're gonna record our first album.
That's all we're waiting for, man.
Yeah.
Just on the cymbals to get the recordings done.
And we're just gonna polish that thing off, and we're gonna record it, put that on the shelf, and then we're just gonna start working on the next chapter of Against the Grain. Cause
But now trying to find out what the next chapter is the hardest part. When every step that we're trying to take, the world's all like, "Well, Corona, so stay home," and then we're like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, but again, that's where we have to come up with more solutions.
Exactly, and we work best with our hands tied behind our back anyway. Like every time we I mean. Man, you're just catching one of our rants right now. Like, dude, like we've had nothing and we still take it out there. Like we have like the oldest equipment. You know, thank God I got myself that new guitar. We're about to get the new cymbals. We just got new lights. We got new merch. New man, dude, shit's like really. Yeah. It's a weird time, but I just like to see it as like I'll look back on this and somehow I'm gonna see it as a blessing in disguise. But
I will say this. One thing I'm offering bands is that Wednesdays, as long as you book it with me in enough time, you can use this spot. We got the camera, we got the gear. We'll go live. You can throw your Cash App under there and raise money while you perform. Do live performances right here. Awesome. More than welcome to it. It's open.
No, we're definitely gonna do a nice showcase of what we were talking about here.
Oh yeah, and the next man, we thought we were bringing it with those songs. Like these next ones, oh man, like for real, these excite me more than any that I've written. Like these are heavy. Like I pushed, like man, I think we were like on maybe 7.9 on like a bad day and like a good 9.5 on like a good day. I think I broke it on like fuck man, dude. These new songs are really like they're written so well, like they're put together so well. Like they're gonna be good, man.
He did show me them, and man, I'm looking forward to just filling it up. And plus, I'm gonna be working with like 3 different cymbals.
With new cymbals too, so our sound's gonna be like.
So I'm gonna have to relearn the grooves that I laid down on the first one, and then I'm gonna get real fucking chifla with it and start adding the little tings, the accents, the up and down beats, all this stuff.
Because those cymbals are all like broken and they're all like 15 years old. Yeah. So now with new equipment, I can only imagine like it might polish our sound a little bit better.
Dude, for sure.
It's definitely gonna come across like super nice. That's because like again, the ride I was using that like as 3 different cymbals. The way I was trying to like. Manipulated the projection and all this stuff, like oh man. But hey, that lets you know if you can make something out of nothing, like when you got everything, like it's gonna be ridiculous. Like
for sure. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And one thing I do know about you guys is that if you guys were able to make your equipment as old as it is, sound as great as it is, then I can only imagine what you guys are going to be able to do with equipment that is updated and ready to go.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like. Again, it's gonna be goddamn ridiculous. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, those new lights we got, man. I'm so excited to take them out because they're gonna just like up everything in the show. We're working with like the 2 strobes that I would set up and like 1 party light. Yeah. And then one time we took it was I didn't see it, but then John told me about it. I was all like, man, that was fucking lame. Cause like this one guy gave us a hard time at one of our shows, and he was like, it was hot, so I was just like, whoa, dude, it's fucking hot out here, and he was like. You tired already, man? And then I was all like, fuck no. And this one's for you. So I kept jamming, right? And then, like, the guy went like that, like, whatever. And I was like, whatever, dude. Everybody's enjoying themselves. I'm not going to, like, get mad over the one dude.
Yeah.
And then the guy that was working our smoke machine and lights, he's like, fucking guy. So he turns on the smoke machine, but there was too much wind. So then all you see is, like the smoke just kind of like hit the floor and blew away with the wind. And man, it was real cheap, but like whatever. We didn't have a big smoke machine, but if we would have, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
But
like that goes back to like I keep telling people, it's the person that is working the instrument that makes it sound so great. I've seen musicians get on stage and have freaking $1,000 guitars and fucking badass rigs.
Yeah.
And those guys sound like they just barely started playing.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Again, like especially nowadays, it's real. I wouldn't say it's real easy, but if you buy like decent rig shit, like
and they litter their stuff with like pedals, like thousands of pedals, man, just to play like a chord.
Yeah.
And so I like I just like practice like a motherfucker, man. Like, man, I practice so much that because like there's been times where I've taken the most I take out there because I don't really want too much clouding up my sound is just an EQ and a noise suppressor just so it sounds as crisp as I could get it. And then I see somebody with like a full on pedal board, and then like after I'm done playing, they're like, "What were you playing out of, man?" I'm like, absolutely nothing. I plug it right in.
Just a crank.
Yeah, just the crank by itself. It's just like pretty good equipment, and I just practice like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and that's the thing that I like. I like musicians that give a fuck about their music. There's
big time, man.
Too many people who they want to do music for the wrong thing. They want to do music because
like,
dude,
it's for the wrong
famous.
reason.
I want to be famous.
It's for fame.
Yeah.
And then they bitch when they see these bands that aren't what they like, and they're like, well, why are they getting all this attention? Well, because they put a little bit more fucking heart in their fucking music.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're not lazy when it comes to putting their name out. Because, like, you could be fucking awesome, but if you don't have any way of other people hearing that, you know, it's going to be tough.
You know, it's like I can go and tell people, I've told people that were like in their 60s, 70s years old, hey, have you ever heard of the band Pulses? They're like, I fucking love that band. 60, 70-year-old fucking people.
It's because it's not dead, man. It's just, it's like dormant. And all the scene needs is some new blood. And like, just, that's all it fucking needs to like just shine the spotlight back on like what we love. Just so we can get some new stuff. Because we just can keep consuming it. I mean, nothing new is going to come out. But if we're like some of the producers of this music, like at least we're like putting something out there so we can have something new. So we could have something new as fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is that I look at bands like that, and I'm not a person that's gonna say I love every band in the Valley. I'll support you, but I may not love your band. I may not be at every one of your shows, but there are bands that I would be at every fucking show because every show they bring it, and every show is fucking epic. And then you have the bands that they'll do a badass show, and then 5-6 shows go on, and they just jump on stage and get done, and then
they get comfortable, man. Like that's one thing that I'm trying to never let myself get comfortable at guitar, because there's always gonna be like somebody that like, oh yeah, you're pretty good. Have you heard of this guy? And then like that's usually what I get. That's not happening so much anymore. Because, like, I think I practice enough to, like kind of prove myself.
Yeah.
But when it comes to guitar, man, there's always somebody who could just blow your fucking mind. And I'm just trying to, just trying to be one of those guys that can hang in that arena. Because I feel I'm old enough to, like, okay, I practiced long enough, man. I want to be, like, a good guitarist, you know? For the sake of, like, writing the best music I can. So I'll practice it the best I can so I can be putting out the best I can. So people can have the best.
Yeah. I mean, and it goes back to like you were saying. I mean, you got to think of what you would pay for.
Exactly. Put yourself in the crowd's shoes. What would they want to see?
And me being a musician, and then now being on the other side, sitting in the audience, I get that even more than I did before. And I've always been that person that was like, give the fans what they wanted to hear. Because, I mean, I know I've gone to shows, and the musicians are fucking flawless.
Yeah.
But I just don't fucking feel it.
Right. It's lacking that like authenticity of like, are you guys having fun, or are you just like trying to play the song? Like,
are you just trying to flex for Instagram? Or
something?
You know, they're just like waiting to get that, you know, little 5-second clip or some shit.
I know, man. Man, I get like 1 like sometimes. Like people do not fuck with me on Instagram. All of you people never fuck with me on Instagram.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, so now don't follow me. How's that? I don't want any more followers.
He's gonna wake up tomorrow. He's gonna have like all these followers now.
God damn.
Right.
But and that shows. But that also shows your ability as a musician. Yeah. There's a lot of people I've seen do shows and not have people in their crowd, and they get fucking pissed. Yeah. Or I've seen, dude, I've literally booked shows where bands say, "Well, I don't want the early one because nobody's there."
Yeah.
I'm like, do you or do you not want to play?
Exactly. Like sometimes I'm like, fuck, man. I hope we go on like, because the way I see our band is like, doesn't matter where you put us, we're gonna give it our 100%. So if we're before you, hey, we busted it open real nice for the night, man. Just keep that fucking wave. Yeah. And if other people have been playing, like, cool. Well, now you prepped them for us, so we can like really kill this motherfucker. So. Yeah. We like to work with bands like that, like keep it going, man, because this is for them in the crowd. It's not for us to enjoy ourselves. We're gonna have fun regardless. Yeah. It's like get the crowd into it, you know. That's what matters.
Yeah, and that's ultimately it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially we played so many mixed bills.
Oh, yeah,
straight
bro,
up.
you guys are always on the most craziest bills.
Right, with like comedians and like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good time, but it's just random.
Yeah.
Every time I'm
Yeah,
like,
so
the fuck?
It gives us like a decent perspective because like even some of the bands that don't play like what we play and things like nobody ever plays like the same,
Mhm.
but they'll bring that intensity like you said that other bands they may sound more intense but you can't see it on their face, you can't
Yeah.
you know, but like yeah we played with a few bands that play a different genre but you know they hit that level of excitement and credibility even you know
Yeah.
when you see them you're actually impressed with like okay these guys they're good guys you know.
Because
As
they're not
opposed
up
to,
there
like,
pretending about it or like faking it. Like we're musicians and yeah, we have fun doing this thing and we can kind of like we sniff out our own and if we don't feel it's real, like not that I've run into any fake ass musicians, but I'm pretty sure we'd be able to sniff them out if we saw them.
Yeah.
Also, there's no ego really.
Oh,
between us
that's
two
one thing
because,
I'm
like,
pretty fucking glad that that's kind of died
Yeah.
down in the past, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but even then, like you'll see some bands that kind of like you know use that as what it is. Like they're bigger than this, they're larger
Yeah.
than life, and this and that. But like, I mean, that doesn't translate into like the product for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
I think you know, and that's the thing. We never really hype ourselves up, but we'll tell you what we're about and how
Yeah.
it is.
yeah.
But yeah, we've seen some folks that are like, you know, it's all show and like.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's different, but everybody approaches it differently based on their prior experience that built up to where they're at right now.
Where they're at, yeah, exactly. And that is one thing I could definitely confirm is that you guys have never, ever had this big ego. Even when I
Yeah.
first met you guys and I was like, dude, you guys are amazing. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right? We're just like, man, thanks. I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah. You know, and you guys are like, we think we could have done better. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love hearing musicians say that because that shows that they're still willing to keep going and going.
Mhm.
I've met bands that I was like, dude, you guys are badass. They're like, of course. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, that won't
And-
come out of me, man.
Yeah. No.
Like, nah, cause there's something that we could have fixed. Like, there's something that could have made it just like a little bit better. Like we could have really like made that ending like last longer. Or, like we could. There's something that we could have fixed.
Kinda
But the
keeps
next
you
show
from-
we'll do it.
kind of
sure.
keeps you from growing if you have that attitude because
it's
you know,
100%.
yeah, because then you're already kind of gonna have to defend that position as opposed to even getting better now.
Yeah.
Because you're just constantly gonna be like
Yeah, of course.
waiting to like defend something that isn't even supposed to be.
And
like,
that band actually pissed me the fuck off because I was telling them, oh, well, it's going to be cool because I believe Vibrahaven was playing that night too. And I was like, well, fucking A, Vibrahaven's up next, man. Said, so they're really going to kick ass. And the guy was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You had 5 people in your audience. Vibrahaven has 50.
Mhm.
You tell me then, Mr. fucking High and Mighty.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Fuck
the thing.
that. And Vibrahaven puts their fucking work like hardcore.
No, yeah, they're fucking classically. I would say they're very trained. I mean, the fuckers could probably read music. I don't know, like
Well-
do you read music.
Well,
Tabs.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
I
this.
can't.
I'll tell you this. Their
You're probably learning, though.
keyboardist, Tommy, he definitely can. He has a degree in music.
I was about to say yeah.
Yeah, and
You can
and
tell because like the progressions are like on
Oh,
point. Natural
man.
progressions, like not even like, you know, now this guy's like like the patience
Like-
in between it, like
That's one thing I used to compare myself to dudes like that because I thought that was like the end all be all until like I realized like man I don't jam like that, like I jam like me. And as soon as you get comfortable with like being in your own skin and just being yourself and being
Yeah.
yourself in front of a lot of people
yep.
and not caring, I mean they're gonna judge you, but when aren't you judged, man? Down to like look this guy motherfucker's hair, like when you're at a store, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you get judged for anything, man. So
yeah, so
just
that's
go out there and have fun is the
Well,
best
yeah, man,
fucking.
and let
because-
the product speak for itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because if you look at like say like bands like Vibrahaven, Vibrahaven is the most biggest collection of randomness out there. You got Cali Crusher on bass, who comes from a freaking black metal grindcore fucking background,
yeah,
you know. And then you have people like Ryan, their vocalist, who's all about Scott Weiland and Stone Temple Pilots and
Mhm.
Soundgarden. And then you have Tommy, who has his techno background, and he also has stuff like emo and
Mhm.
all that. And then you have
Post-hardcore
Matthew,
stuff.
who's all about Korn and Avenged Sevenfold and Five
Love
Finger
Korn,
Death
man.
Punch and Disturbed and all that. And Mudvayne and so you mix that together and you got people who not only do they have a wide variety of tastes of music, but they're actually friends and they respect each other in the band and say, okay, yeah, this isn't working. You don't feel comfortable doing this. Let's fix it and make it where you're comfortable.
yeah.
Because that's what a band is.
Exactly, and that's what I call taking it in the kitchen and like actually like working on them as two chefs in the kitchen. That's the way we treat it, because every time that we're like, there's been times where like the riff, like say John isn't feeling it, or John's playing something on drums, I'm like, nah, play like more, da, 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 da. And he'll be like, nah, it's just not heavy enough, man. And I'm like, heavier? And they're like, yeah, heavier. So then like we'll add that, and then it just it turns into what it turns into, and which is like a group effort. I mean, there's only two of us, but it's still a group.
But yeah, you know, anything more than one is a group.
Yeah.
And depending on what drug you're on, one person could be a drug, could be a couple too.
Yeah, we definitely party, man.
So, yeah, man, and that's the thing about you guys, is that you guys are always going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of the bands out here, they haven't been posting much of anything, but I'm always seeing you guys talking about music and always posting stuff that you're doing and practicing, doing this and doing that, and that shows a lot, because see, right now, any band can get away with the fact that they're not doing nothing because of COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you guys choose not to, and you guys go out there and you handle your shit and you do your shit. And to me, that is a band. That is a person who deserves that exaltness to put out there and say, hey, get behind these guys, put them in your fucking ear holes and jam them, because that's work. When I say to people, you put in your work, it's a lot of people get it twisted on what I'm saying and saying, oh, well, they're out making an album or they're doing this. Oh, it's so much more than that. You guys are harnessing your craft. You guys are out there pushing and saying, you know what? Fuck this. This isn't good to me. I know it's not going to be good to my fans. Fuck it. Scrap it. We got to fucking work it over again.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it means by putting in work. Not this other shit. Still making connections, getting connected. Like this, I mean, you guys could have totally been like, yeah, you know, COVID's out. I really don't feel safe doing this interview. Yeah. But it wasn't even a question. As soon as I said it, you're like, down.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then real quick, shout out to Monodyssey. I know they're gonna be up soon.
Yes.
Those are our fucking boys, man. Like
the homies, man.
I was supposed to drum for them like years ago, and then I finally met Tony like after like 2-3 years, and it was at a house show that we played at a friend of theirs, and man, ever since then, like I was so impressed by local music, so much so because like
I felt that we met friends when we got together with Monodyssey and Red Hour. Like it was the weirdest. Like it was like being a Pokemon kid all over again, man. It was like, you have that one, I have a Charizard, dude. What the like it felt like that of like, you play the music, we love metal too, and then like it just became like, we're having a show, okay, we're having a show, and then
like
just it became a good thing.
We were like the biggest fan of each other's bands, which is great. And like if we could play with them every chance we get, we fucking will, because we know what they have to offer, and they bring it, man. They have
for sure.
Like, we really feel that they have like the same like drive that we have, as far as like giving the people something to like just bang their heads to, man. Whether they think it's the greatest thing or not, at least we're trying to give them a good time on like a Wednesday night. You know, like who else is trying to?
Gotcha about like the open mics, or like the last one we played was at the in Harlingen.
Yeah,
that performance.
At the spot, I believe.
Yeah, that performance was recorded very well. So if you do want to see our stuff that isn't,
as choppy,
as grainy against the grainy, that's the one. It's about a 30-40 minute set, and that one we bring it.
Yeah, I think that one's like a pretty good idea of like what we usually do live.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard us, that's a perfect way.
I don't think it's on YouTube, but it's on my Instagram.
Yeah, it's on the Against the Grain Mission _ between every word on that one. It's great. You could always reach out.
It's on IGTV, so you could just stream like the first half, because it gives you like 15 minutes, and then the second half.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, on Jack's Corner, we like to let the bands pick an artist to jam out to, for the fans to jam out to, of somebody from a local artist that you guys like, who might have something on Spotify or something like that.
Red Hour, I think they're the only ones that we really like fuck with. Like again, Red Hour, Monodyssey. We played with Narwhal a few times.
Let's check out, see if we got anything by Red Hour up on there.
Spoonful is awesome. Jay for sure, always a pleasure.
Yes.
And all over the place, man. Like, but if we can, Monodyssey and Red Hour, like we always fucking like.
Oh, we fucks with them.
Yeah. No, they're
it's a fun time.
Well, definitely, man.
They're all pretty solid.
Yeah.
Coming at you, Red Hour, man.
Yes. So we got Red Hour coming to you soon. on Spotify, only on Jackal's Corner. You guys get a chance to see Red Hour. Go see them. If you guys can't tell, that's them right there hanging on my wall.
Boof.
So anybody who gets to this wall is definitely a band to fucking check out.
Yeah.
And Red Hour is gonna fucking bring it every fucking time.
Yeah, no, those guys, they really, especially, it's so impressive to see, then again, it's just two of us, it's impressive to see three people, like, go hard. But, like, when you get a full band dynamic where they're actually all on point and nobody's really dragging their nuts around and shit, like,
Yeah.
that's a good time, because sometimes, you know, you see some folks that just chill in the pocket, you know, it's everybody has their own style of playing, but these guys are no slouch. You
Definitely,
know, them
definitely.
and Odyssey, they're moving, they're grooving, and they're keeping the energy up. They're not just, you know, BSing, I guess.
Right before we play this music, let me give another shout out to our sponsors. We have 5x5 Brewery sponsoring all the alcoholic libations up in this place.
Finish my
Get your butts out to Mission, Texas.
Thank you,
Go
George.
to 5x5. Go to many restaurants that are out here that carry 5x5, so you can have your steak and a 5x5 and enjoy your freaking day and know that you supported local.
Yeah.
Also,
Saturday they're having the release, right? The Mundo.
yeah, Saturday. Go on out to 5. I believe is it at 5x5?
Yeah, they're gonna have and then Sahadi's pop up. I think is gonna be there too.
Yeah,
which is
so
fucking delish.
So get your butts out there to 5x5 Admission, right there off of Bryan, next to Ranch House Burgers and Jitters. Ask them for a
Shout
40
out Jitters,
millimeter.
man. I love Jitters.
Ask them for a 40 millimeter. This beer is actually brewed with Jitters coffee, so this is 100% local
Mission.
beer.
100% mission.
This is all Mission a la verga.
Hell yeah.
So get your asses out there and get yourself some 5x5. Hit up Concert Culture if you need anything with sound. These guys will take care of you guys. Just to name some people that they've run shows for. People like
that we wanted to record it?
Winds of Plague. They've done
called
Devil Driver and bands like that. So if you need help with sound, these are your guys. Also with Snack Attack. Providing all the snacks for Jekyll's Corner.
They're really great.
And also some awesome dip apparently for my friends to dip their beer in.
That was another one.
And so the full-on snack pack. Get your asses out to Snack Attack and tell them Jekyll's Corner sent you for a badass snack platter. And without further ado, let's get on to playing some Red Hour. This again is some local music. These boys hail out of Far, Texas. Red Hour. Check them out. Go like their Facebook, their Instagrams, everything. Annoy the shit out of these guys. They love to be.
Hey, Rick.
How's it going, Rick?
How's it going, man?
Dan, how you doing, Dan? It's like punching people in the face. So.
All right, guys. So that was Red Hour that you guys were jamming to on Jackal's Corner. Still got my guests here tonight. Against the Grain.
Against the Grain.
Against the
Kwanzi, thank you for tuning in, brother. We love you here at Jackal's Corner. And this is my personal invitation to Red Hour to say, guys, Jackal's Corner wants you guys on here. So one of you fuckers better hit me up already, because I'm in a fucking group with you guys. Like, come on.
Or you're going to
pretty
get
easy.
the boots. Juanzi, the boots.
Yes, because guess what? I got Against the Grain already, and now I got Monodyssey coming on. So where the fuck is Red Hour?
Where are they?
The Dirty Threesome, man. That's all you need to have a top of the line show, man. You get Against the Grain, Monodyssey, and Red Hour. We fuck with y'all heavy, man. Always remember that.
Yes,
After
yes.
that, love you guys.
So we are getting to that grim hour of Jackal's Corner where we have to close out our show and do like we do. So again, 5x5, thank you. Concert Culture, thank you guys. Snack Attack, thank you. Remember, Jackal's Corner 100% supports local in every aspect of the matter.
Local.
100% local. Shop local, buy local, support your local band, artists, poets, whatever you're into, do it. If you're a person who wants to go and sit in a reading circle, make it local. Just support local.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's go back to Red oh shit, I'm already saying Red Hour.
Yeah, no, you want them
I want them so bad already.
Oh, wow.
Against the Grain, guys. So you guys have been doing music. You guys have been, well, against the grain, if you will.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so when can people start looking out for even like a taste or a teaser of some new stuff coming out?
I would have to say, we're getting the symbols in by the end of this coming week.
Yeah, at least hopefully by Monday.
That's all we're really waiting for, because we're going to be working with this one studio. I forgot what the name is, but I know the studio's name is El Cuartito. And it seems like it's like we grew up jamming in El Cuartito, so we're just all like, dude, this is written in the stars, man. And they're willing to work with us, super badass. They're gonna help us out with the drums. He was like, just hook it up with the cymbals so you guys can have your sound. And that's all we're really waiting on. So maybe give us 2 months, man. I think 2 months so we can, because not only do we want to record our stuff, we want to really have intros, outros, little sound bites of different stuff. So we want to put out a real fucking good album for y'all.
Definitely. Well, that's definitely something that could be respected.
Hopefully by October, because
I'd say October.
My birthday is the 25th, so I would hope it would be a pretty decent birthday present if we could get this puppy under wraps and control, and then really again hit the intros where it's really ambiotic and kind of paints the whole name, and then boom, we kick it and boom, and then next song, same thing, the little beginning part, and then boom, boom, boom. Just so you won't have the incentive to start skipping songs and shit.
Mhm.
Like you want to be able to listen to it until
All killer, no filler is what we're going
just
for.
one big piece of music essentially is the way we wrote it.
Mhm.
One big movement, if you will.
Yeah.
And from beginning to end. I mean, unless you really prefer certain songs, by all means. But if you're gonna give it a taste,
Yeah, standalone, they'll still hold their own. But
yeah, just like all the way through, and then after that, if you really dig it, you could just put a certain song aside. But the idea is just one big piece of music because we always play it pretty much in that order due to how it builds up and it crescendos and then it comes back down real nice, and then we just go back up like all like crazy.
Right. Well, and that's a great thing. Actually, one of my favorite bands that is from, I believe, from the 80s toward the 90s is Queensryche. I fucking love them because they do stuff like that. Like, every album you listen to of theirs, from beginning to end, it's a story. It's telling you a fucking story.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
And they use a ton of different instruments, so they're like true musicians, like really being creative forward. Like, they'll play different types of guitars, different... they'll add like woodwinds or like all these other string instruments, like part orchestra. Like, they really make it into a whole production as opposed to just the bones and a little bit of meat on it. Like, it's a whole meal.
And that's the thing that I do love about you guys is that you guys do that. I love bands that paint a story from beginning to end because that's what gets you to listen. I mean, for instance, Stone Temple Pilots' Core album, one of the greatest fucking albums out of the 90s ever. I don't care who says what.
Yeah, no.
That album, if you ask anybody, you like Stone Temple Pilots? Oh man, the Core album, greatest album. And that says something.
That's how you G-check someone, man. Yeah, what's your favorite album? And then, like, if you can, like, kind of tell what type of fan they are based on the album they say. Yeah. So they're like, what's that? Like, oh, yeah, that type of fan. But yeah, dude, I totally know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like when I ask people, what's your favorite album by Pink Floyd? And they're like, The Wall. I'm like, so isn't everybody else.
Yeah.
The Wall's great, but like...
Because, like, us will be like, Pantera, and like, oh, so y'all guys are going to play, like, Cemetery Gates and all that, like... No, that stuff's in our hearts, man. But like, nah, we're gonna play like Great Southern Trendkill, man. That's my shit. John, man, he's the one that put me on a damn near everything I fucking like to this day. John was the fucking guy, man. We've been friends since like 5 years old or some shit, like pre-K. Like, man,
his mom was my teacher like 2 years, maybe even 3, like out of my whole little growing up type thing.
Yeah, my mom knows him hella. Like we go, and then my mom like went to school with like his dad. Yeah. So like our families, like, dude, like we were bound to meet each other, man.
Well,
it was like it was gonna happen, like
And that's what is awesome when you can meet somebody and mesh like that. And
I remember the first thing this fucking guy I heard him say, and I already knew this fucking guy was all whacked out. So I was waiting in line in our like little like I think it was like a pre-K field trip or something like really young. It was gonna be to a swimming pool, and I was in the line, and I'm like an outcast kid. Like that's like I was like one of those Yu-Gi-Oh Pokemon guys. So then like I was in golf and shit. Like like I was one of those guys. So then I'm bored. I look over to John, and then I just hear him like, dude, one time I was in a swimming pool and I popped my fingers and bubbles came out, and then I was like, what the fuck's this guy saying? So from that day, I was like, man, this guy's my friend, man.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I was just underwater, like.
Bubbles come out. I was like, this fucking guy.
I would tell you this. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, yeah, you're gonna be my fucking friend.
Right? I'm like, you ever had a sandwich? Like, no, I was different. I was a little strange. I asked a lot of questions, but I think it's a good thing.
It's like, actually, like I had this friend of mine back in the day when I was growing up, and this kid, he would invite me to his house, and he was one of those kids who was super rich, super fucking rich kid, but super down to fucking earth. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't give a fuck about his money. You know, he was like, yeah, I'm rich, but I don't give a fuck. Yeah. You know? And he'd always invite all the fucking, like, rejects and shit of the school to his house, and his, like, prim and proper conservative mom is just, like, seeing these fucking hoodlums come through their door and
dirt and shit.
And he'd always go into the fridge and be like, he's like, whatever I got, guys, you can have.
He's like, fucking, Mom, we're gonna make some pizza rolls. The whole bag. He like dumps it all out. Everybody's like,
that's a good ass night. And I got the N64, dude. Nah, dude. The night's over, dude.
I remember
a simple time.
This one time I went to his house and he's like, making all this badass shit. He's like, that's not even the biggest surprise. And I'm like,
he's throwing around surprise. That means he gets surprises. You know, he's one of those kids.
We go into, he's like, check this out. He opens his game room and he has this big ass fucking screen on there, and he's like, I just got the new Xbox. He's like, you know, it's like fucking cool ass kid. He's like, I don't care for it. What do you guys want it? Take it.
Right. I don't care for it, man.
Yeah.
He's like,
that kid is now.
He's like, all I care about is my skateboards.
Fuck yeah.
No, and I was like, fucking get it. And then he's the first one that ever gave me like some badass weed. This dude didn't even smoke weed. He didn't even smoke weed. I just go to his house. He's like, hey, I see you smoke this stuff, but I don't know what it is. And the guy said it's pretty good shit.
Damn.
And I opened the bag. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, that's some good shit.
Damn, that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, dude, the guy was a cool kid, and I still talk to him, and he runs a music shop out in freaking New York and shit. And
wow. That's cool, man.
He
must be doing
pissed his fucking parents so fucking off, dude, because he bought a fucking guitar shop and like turned into a big ass music shop, and they're like, are you fucking serious? You're taking the money that we gave you, you're using it for music?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you know what? No matter what happens in life, music will always be there.
Yeah, that's for sure, man.
People will always need an instrument to play.
Yeah.
And I was like, bruh.
Even when weed's not around, man.
Yo.
Guess what's gonna be around? Music.
Yo.
Music is gonna be there for sure, man. When everything goes to shit, what's always there? My motherfucking guitar. Yeah. Oh my god, that note's always gonna be that note. If I play that note, I can depend on it being there. It's never gonna fucking leave me. That shit's gonna music fucking forever, man. Yep. That's one thing you could bet anything on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's facts. And
gotcha.
It was great having you guys on here.
Hell yeah, man. Jackal's Corner.
I am looking forward to when that album comes out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys now, I want the first sit down.
Fuck yeah, man. You'll be the first one to hear it. For sure.
Hell yes, dude. And you guys are welcome here anytime you guys want to come on. Awesome. Definitely, I applaud your guys' hard work. More bands.
Yours too, man, for giving us an outlet to actually get our asses on here, man.
Yeah.
You actually make us feel like, you know, like we're actually like, you know, fucking legit artists, man. Because it's hard to feel like that on your own with, like, nobody's going to pat you on your back, man. But you've managed to pat us on our back and shit. You deserve a big-ass pat on your back, dude. Yeah. You're giving us artists, like, a platform to, like, be ourselves on to where they can get to know us. And they won't just see us through this tube of Instagram. We got your tube to show it on, man. Yeah. We show the real us.
And then, like, all the other bands and artists you're going to have on, like, you're giving them all the
man.
You know, to really...
So we hella appreciate this exposure, dude.
Put that out so other people could be themselves and things like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Because I honestly believe in that. I believe that this day and age, art is being suppressed in all forms.
Straight up, dude.
And it needs to stop. Like I've said on some of the other podcasts, my hero was this guy on MTV back in the day called Matt Pinfield.
Oh yeah, Matt Pinfield.
He is the reason why I started getting into researching music, not just listening, but I would research the band and know everything about that band. I was that nerdy kid in school that they were over there talking about football, and I was like, oh yeah, did you know that Nirvana did this and this and this and this?
Right. That's my friend Roel, man. I love people like that, like straight up. Shout out Roel. Roel, man.
Roel.
I personally want him to be our bassist so fucking bad. Roel, be our goddamn bassist already, man. Okay.
Yes. Well, if they're that amped about it, I'm that amped about it.
Straight up, dude. If you were to meet Roel, you'd hit it. You'd love this guy, man. He's awesome. He got an answer to anything you would want to ask him. Anybody who knows him, like, you could ask him about something, he'll get the answer to you regardless, because that's the type of dude he is. He's not doing it for you. He's doing it for him. He's like, man, I'm going to find this out so I can have this in the arsenal.
It's like with me, it's like this one time I was hanging out with Vinny, and the song came on, and he was like, oh, this is the new one by then. And I'm like, nah, fuck that shit, dude. This song is like, came out in like early 2000s. He's like, no. I was like, yes. And then I show him, he's like, I should have fucking known not to fucking argue with you on this one. I should have fucking known.
Yeah.
But that's my shit, man, is music. I was a sick child, so music was the thing that was there for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when people made fun of me or picked on me for that, music never did.
Oh my god, was Pantera there for me for that, dude? Goddamn, I got made fun of so fucking much, man. But Pantera just kind of like put hairs on your nuts or some shit, man. Ever since fucking John put me on Great Southern Trendkill, that'll forever be my favorite album. I got The Trend Is Dead tattooed right here. I'm gonna get the cover of the album next month on the 25th at Octopus Inc. I'm gonna fill up all of this right here. And Octopus Inc.'s the only guy who works on me. Just so you know, Carlos from Octopus Inc., if you want the best color tattoos, he's gonna give it to you. Professional too, man. Super high grade shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, high grade, man. But, fucking, yeah, I lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna have to tell that.
Yeah, album cover of Pantera.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get that, dude. The snake right back here. I'm gonna get this other artist. I can't remember right now. I'm feeling real good, man. 5x5 will get you feeling fucking alive, man. Straight up. But, yeah, I'm gonna get the cover on my neck, dude. The snake.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Great Southern Trendkill.
Yeah, no,
I'm
Nice.
excited as hell for that.
the energy of that group really and then like again it's just a 2-piece, so I always like, you know, on a nice day I'll be like, you know, he's my diamond, I'm his Vinny and stuff.
Straight up, man. Every
Yeah.
time I see a picture, man, I just send it to John and I'm like, dude, us, dude, like,
Yeah.
shit.
Because I try to hit it with that heavy sound. I love his stance and things, like the way he
Yeah.
plays. And
And I could say, for a lot of metalheads, like, you can't lie to yourselves. You want to be Pantera, party you. Like, party you just wants to be like Dime, man.
we always
Dimebag, I got him tattooed right here, man. Like, oh my god, I love Pantera so much. They're like the reason why I am like the way I am today, man. The trend is dead. Fuck trends, fuck anything. If you like it because you like it, not because this some motherfucker was like, dude, listen, like, give it a chance for yourself and listen to it and see if you really like it. And if you take that in, man, and you love it, like, with the bottom of your heart, shit, dude, then it means something.
It does.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
It does. It really, really does. I encourage people to find the music that they like
Yeah.
and
really hone
what
that,
moves their soul. You see, a lot of people mistake liking music with music that moves their soul.
Yeah.
It's totally
Mhm.
different. If you find something that moves your soul, as I am with Pink Floyd, it's the shit to me. I have a number one rule in my house: never turn my Pink Floyd off.
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck what attitude you're in.
I got a
I
rule
don't
too,
care.
yeah.
You fucking turn my Pink Floyd off, you're gonna see a very fucking pissed off fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Because you just do
Yeah.
not turn my Pink Floyd off. I've kicked people out of my house for that.
Yeah.
I've
I
kicked
got a
girl out of my
rule.
car
You don't lower a Dimebag solo. Cause some people will lower it while the solo's coming on and say something. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You pick it up during Dimebag solo. You never lower it. What the
No.
hell's your problem, man?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I know the
Well,
rules.
I'll tell you that. If you ever fucking disrespect Dime in my house, you're gonna get worse and get kicked out. I'm probably gonna kick you in your fucking nuts, straight out.
Dimebag
Yeah.
forever, man.
And,
Stronger than all.
It's fucking Dime,
We
dude.
would always joke if we ever had somebody singing or like a singer, the only person who could really do it is probably like.
And Phil Anselmo, if you're watching this, we want you as our singer, man. You'd be the biggest honor.
Yeah, no,
Man.
we always joke around because like the energy we run around with, like you need somebody to fucking hit him with a face and be able to jump.
I know,
when it's
man.
appropriate.
When we find that guy,
The
dude,
aggression,
you
the
can be
timing.
our singer, straight up. When we find a motherfucker that, like, scares us, that's when we fucking know, man. This is our guy.
Well, I'll say this, man. If my boy in Corpus, Tony Gomez, if you are watching this, hit me up. I'll link you with these guys so you can fucking melt their fucking faces.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah, we're
That's
open
how
to
they
it.
done
We're
it.
open to anything, man. And if
Yeah.
it works, shit, it works. Dude.
Yeah, I'll show you some of their stuff on YouTube after we're done here.
Cool.
Dude, these guys are amazing. He sings for a band called Killamora in Corpus. This band has been around longer than most people in the scene down here.
Mhm.
They're in their like in mid 40s, and
That's cool, though.
fucking dude, this guy dominates the stage better than most young people I've ever seen. Yeah, this dude just fucking takes control, and
that's one
his
thing
shit.
that, like, it doesn't gotta fucking die. I saw Slayer, like, the past, dude, they can still bring it harder than, like, goddamn anybody that fucking, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn, they still
Fuck
got
yeah.
it. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't, age doesn't mean shit when it comes to heavy metal, man.
It doesn't, man,
Yeah.
and that it proves it because I've seen
Keeps
these
you
young
young.
cats get up there
Yeah.
and they
Keeps
last
you
like
eternal.
fucking 20 minutes and they're already fucking out of breath. And then you see
Yeah.
this cat over here that's almost in his 50s, fucking will do an hour set.
An
Get
hour
off
set.
stage and be like it was fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And it was their off day, right? Like that was
Yeah.
a bad show, and we just had the time of our lives, man.
You know, and that's what I love. I love to see bands like that. And when I first saw Killamora, I walked into the bar Theo's in Corpus, and I see the band Killamora, and I was like, bro, that sounds like a fucking name, like a big name band.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I go home and
You
tell
got
my
that
wife,
one
Killamora's
twice.
playing over there. I don't know who they are, but that name sounds fucking legit.
Yeah.
And I see my boy get up there, and he looks like Homeboy from, he looks like a Mexican version of Homeboy from Disturbed, the vocalist.
I think
Bald
that guy
head and
is
everything.
Mexican.
Well, he don't look it.
I think so. I think his last name's like Fuentes or something.
No, it isn't. It's Dramus or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's David Dramus.
Dramus?
Just something
Yeah.
like that. Dramus.
Yeah, Dramus.
I could have swore he was Cam.
No, it's David Dramus.
Nah.
He
You're thinking of some other
He's
I
amazing,
don't know.
dude.
Might be
This-
like a
That
grito or
sounds
something.
so-
when he got up on stage and like the first thing they do is like there's no fucking guitar or anything. It's just him just straight out just. And I was like,
That's what the fuck we're looking for, man.
But then that might turn us into a death metal group, and we don't really want to get too.
oh no,
turn
but this is
into
the
a death
thing.
metal.
He
Yeah.
has
'Cause then we'll get all conditioned, like groomed into the whole scene.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
See,
The black metal and all that shit. It's
he's a
bit
guy who he used to have a band called Vulgar Display,
Oh, that's-
Pantera Tribute,
Yeah.
and when they first played, I was like, I'm one of those. If anybody does a tribute band, the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, go up there and play it, but I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm just gonna listen.
all right.
I don't care what you're doing on stage because it's been done before. It's Pantera.
Exactly.
Real quick.
Best case scenario, you're not even gonna fucking. You're not Pantera, so you could just at least have fun playing
Was
it.
that at the old Smoking Aces, like a ton? Because I think I
Mm-mm.
saw a cover band of Pantera.
Yeah,
covers that
you
played
probably
one.
saw
yes.
Cowboys from El Paso. They're considered the
So, like,
official
Mhm.
Pantera, but
oh,
how
yeah.
the fuck do you really become the official? Like, what the fuck?
They might
There's
have
some
to get,
motherfuckers
like,
out of
the blessing
Brazil.
from,
It's
like-
vulgar display of something, man. Everybody goes for the vulgar. But yeah, those guys from Brazil, man, they like, goddamn, they love Pantera over there.
Oh
like,
my god, yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
it's humongous.
dude.
They
I
love it.
remember one time going out to Brazil and me and my friend are hanging out and he's like, I fucking love Pantera, and the guy's like, okay, Pantera, and then he was
They know
like,
Phil, which is weird. They're like Phil Anselmo, Pantera. And they're
Yeah, he
like,
starts doing the Phil face, or like,
right,
and everybody's like, "Fuck yeah!"
right.
and then he says, but I can't stand that fucking band Sepultura. The guy fucking pulled a blade out. He said, what the fuck you just say? I was like, bro, you can't say that in Brazil, bro.
I was about to say, that's like that doesn't make a lot of sense to say that.
Man,
Brazil.
Sepultura, they're so fucking good, man.
Yeah.
That's like, if we could just become like a mesh of Pantera and Sepultura all in one, dude. Like, oh my god, like,
You'd be
shit.
making more panties wet than you already do.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
It would,
Fucking.
it would be a very nice, and I mean, at least we keep it to that level where you want to turn it up, and it doesn't.
We're trying to at least keep it as raw as could be, with still keeping it like contained, because I don't know, man. We kind of believe in this certain groove that music should have, and that's just, maybe it's just the Texas in us or like the Mexican in us or some shit, that we just want to hear something that you could like fucking really like headbang to, you know, like.
Yeah.
We just kind of want to feel it. Like, we don't just want to like, oh, yeah, let's kick some ass. Like, yeah, like, we'll do the ass kick part, and then after that, let's hear some pretty shit, and then after that, to give it some contrast, we don't want to lose our groove, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And if we go, that's why we're like treading this like weird line of, we could either go fucking heavy, and we could just turn that way, and it might work, it might not work, or we could just keep like this weird ass shit that we're on right now, and hope for the best, and at least we're being true. And I
Yeah.
think like if we just keep on like doing that, where we challenge ourselves on every single song, it's
Yeah.
gonna keep working.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Weiland, Stump to Papada said it perfectly. He says many times he's had people tell him you need to change your music with the times.
Yeah.
And he said the only time I will ever do that, he says, is the day that I decide not to be true to my own soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, because if I'm doing that, that means I don't care anymore, and neither should you.
And who are you really doing it for, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Is it for like the
And you
people
can't-
anymore? Is it even
Yeah.
to like satisfy your own musical taste? Like, what is it really for? Are you doing it just because
Exactly.
Maybe you get paid. Who knows?
Yeah, no.
And we're doing this.
That's
Nobody's.
the
And
thing.
that's
They
one
have
thing I keep
A&Rs
saying.
and all that people, you know.
Yeah,
and they get
everybody's
contracts
got
that they don't
everybody's
read.
got a gun to their head. Nobody's got a gun to our head making us do any of the shit that we're doing.
Yeah.
Nobody's behind us being like, hey, make a song, fucking make some shirts, make some this, try to get it out there, fucking talk to people, go get the word out of your band. Nobody's making us do any of this. We're just trying to do this so we can like basically get a spotlight over to heavy metal to like make people not forget that this shit's still alive, man. I don't care if we end up finishing our lives with not ever fucking getting big. Who gives a shit, man? If we fucking at least shine the spotlight to like, hey, heavy metal's not fucking dead, man. That's why I keep saying like I feel sometimes that like the bands that we jam with, we're the last ones holding up that heavy metal flag, because if it's not for us, dude, who's gonna play these shows?
Yeah.
Nobody, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so we put a gun on our own heads and like, dude, play this motherfucking shit, because if it's not for you, dude, nobody's gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not like promoting anybody, how the fuck we gonna get promotion, man? Like, you know what I mean? It all goes hand in hand with people who
It
give a
does.
fuck about the scene, who
It
actually
does.
literally give a fuck about it. You know, you guys, man, like people who give a fuck about actually putting in the work that it takes to like do this dream.
Yeah.
'Cause, man, it takes a lot of work and people don't see it. They think it's like a hobby. And like,
Yeah.
this is our fucking lives over here, man. You think we're playing around? Like, we're doing this with our lives over here.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's the thing that
Hell yeah.
Right?
that was actually perfectly said. I can't say any more on that because it was perfectly said. It's exactly what I
Thanks,
tell my wife all the time. She tells me all the time, I don't understand why you go to these shows like you do. Like, there's been times I've had heart attacks on the day of a show and tell them, fuck you, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. You got about 4 hours before that show starts, and I'm gonna be at that fucking show.
Yeah.
You know, so they're my fucking dumbasses strolling into Cena or Yerb or Hop Shop, just having a fucking heart attack. But I'm there because I love that music. I may sit down through the whole fucking show,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna fucking be there and support my brothers because I don't see it as supporting a band. I see it as a dream. That's somebody's fucking dream.
Mhm.
And this is mine. My dream is being able to give you guys this. And I love that I get to support you guys in that. And a lot of people don't understand how great it is when you get to meet a band when they're first starting out,
Yeah.
and then you get to see them when they get signed. And the beauty of that you get to see them grow.
Somebody succeed.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like seeing anybody else succeed, and they want to succeed before them so they can like throw it in their face. Dude, you can be happy for people, man. Like, that's
Yeah.
one thing I don't understand about people. Like
Yeah.
they'll be happy for you, but in like the weirdest way of like, I'm glad you're doing your thing, man, but fuck you. Like, dude, you could just be regular happy for me that I'm actually doing something I like, and you're stuck doing what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. But do something about it instead of just like taking it out on me and be like, the chances of that actually working out are like, well, fucking, what are you doing that's so fucking cool, man? And then like,
Exactly.
oh,
Because I mean,
nothing.
Yeah,
exactly, man.
even then, like, we never went in there thinking, you know,
Let's be badasses.
Yeah,
we went
like-
in there playing our shit like we do. We're
Yeah.
literally, as every time I look at John, I'm seeing my friend from like 5 years old. So like, I'm just seeing like, dude, we're really doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
every time I'm done playing a song, I'm all like, that was cool. And then
yeah, like
keep
we,
playing.
and it's cool. Like even if it's like especially when we played with Cena, like that was an experience of a lifetime. We were just
Goddamn,
like,
yeah,
and
it
luckily
was,
we
man.
played. We were able to.
Y'all
really hit
don't
it
like
twice.
understand how big of a fucking deal that was for us. Cause like that
Yeah.
was like, man, imagine if we could play Cena, man. And the thing is, dude, all these shits were like dreams of ours, and like to some people, we haven't accomplished a motherfucking thing. I mean, look at our follower count; it's not even that popping, dude. We did shit that, at least for me personally, I'm speaking for myself here, I've always dreamt of doing. I've always wanted to play house shows, which I never really got to do when I was a teenager because I was just in and out of like bands that were starting. Let's make a super band, dude. Let's make this band. Let's make that. Nobody was serious. And who the fuck was the whole time was John. The only fucking drummer in the school that actually fucking drummed was John. The only guitarist, like, it was me. And there we fucking go. There was other guitarists, but they were like just out. I think it was for cool points. But whatever, man. Some people just do it for the wrong fucking reasons.
And
We're out there
that's
having fun.
Yeah,
And it's true.
and even like playing a stage like Cena or just like you said, a house show, everything. I still get the same butterflies every time because I know.
I know.
You
You
know?
get the butterflies. I'm all like, dude, I'm so excited. And I'm like, man, and then by the middle of it, I could tell John's like letting loose. His hair's fucking crazy. That's when I know, like, there we go. There's my fucking friend from 5 years old. Because then I get to see your fucking actual legit smile, and you're all like, I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
We're both having a good time. Here we fucking go, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and then if
it's a good
everybody
time.
could, like everybody else could just like, I mean, we do it because we're best buds and like we've always wanted to do that. So
Straight
it's
up,
cool
man.
to see other people there while we're accomplishing these little things that we always want to do.
And they're little
then getting
things of
such
ours,
a
but dude,
awesome
they
feedback.
mean so fucking much, man. Like, I don't think people understand
Yeah.
how much it fucking means. Like, these are like dreams of when I was like 5 years old of like, man, if Pantera played there, it'd be cool if I played there one time. Like, I always dreamt of playing at, that place is Harley Davidson now, Villarreal.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, before the nipple dome.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
time I went there, I was all like, man, Pantera was here, man. Like, oh, man. It was the best shit. But, like, little things like that mean a lot to musicians, man. Like,
Yeah, it
you
does.
guys don't understand, the littlest fucking thing means so much. Like, even down to, like, I liked your tone out there, man. Oh, my God, you don't understand how much that fucking means. Or, like, yeah, I like the way when you did that little transition. Like, man, you listen to that. I put so much thought into that. Like, God damn it, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
But-
amazing, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's like one thing I like to go by is that my pops taught me this when I was little, that success in music is different.
Yeah.
A smile is good enough.
You
Yeah.
know,
There's
he
so many
said
different ways to look at it.
he told me this, and it's something that he actually heard from another musician. I can't remember who he told me it was at the time. He said this. He said, you can have 10,000 people in your audience there to see you.
Mhm.
Buy your merch, buy your albums, support you all the way. But it's that one person in the audience that you change their life means more than the 10,000 people that bought everything. Because your true message was put across of what you're about.
That's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I tell bands when they tell me, oh man, only 3 people were in my audience. Yeah, but out of those 3, how many people's lives did you change?
Exactly. How many, like, even if you didn't change their life, did you change their night? Like,
Yeah.
you made their night better. Like, if anything, you made their night a little bit fucking fun. And
Yeah.
one thing my dad told me about, like, playing guitar, my dad passed away a few years ago, but one thing I always remember is he was like, because he told me, like, here's the true test of a musician. You give them their instrument, like, what they do, they're gonna fucking play it. They won't be confused, won't be anything. They'll just get the thing and start jamming on it. Have you ever seen a mariachi? Like, you give them a guitar, you name the song, they're gonna fucking play it, man. But, like, well, that's what he told me about the guitar. Just, like, if you go out there, don't go out there all like, oh, I don't know, or like, what do y'all want to hear? Like, go out there and do your fucking thing, man, because as long as you do that, then you're being a musician. That's what the hell,
Yeah.
we're entertainers. And a lot of people don't see that, like, people are shy to get into that role, but, like, dude, we're the entertainment for the night. What the hell? We're supposed to be that fucking guy. We're supposed to be
Yeah.
that fucking exciting person.
Yeah, you gotta
And some
bring it.
people get turned off by that, but the thing is, like, you're there to, like, help everybody and have a good time. And if
Yeah.
you're open to it, you'll see that we're just here for a good time. We're not here to, like, this fucking guy, man, I don't like him because of this or that. Then you're just mad at yourself for some fucking reason, man. Like, you know, everybody
Yeah.
else here is feeling the good time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to close this out, so let's go ahead and go with letting you guys go ahead and give some shout outs to whoever you guys want to real quick before we close out. So let's go ahead and go.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, fucking anybody who's fucked with us, man, like through this whole fucking trip that we've had, this whole fucking weird scattered path that is against the grain. If you managed to be at our shows and actually let loose, thank you. You guys have seen us live, so thank y'all.
Yeah.
Man, Carlos from Octopus Inc. is going to be hooking it up. If you want your color tattoos, get it from there. Dean Guitars, forever Dean Guitars. If you're watching this, I hope you are. I'm going to put it up on my page. You guys put me up on yours, so thanks. What else, man? Fucking, let's give it over to John, man.
Again, thanks for having us over. Jackal's Corner, Jay, running the good news, spreading the good word. Looking forward to Stokely's. See where that ends up. Maybe I'm speaking too much at that point. And then Salute the Symbols. Gonna give you guys a CC of this. looking forward to recording our first album, Against the Fucking Grain. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. Should be around
Most likely
October.
self-titled, right?
Yeah, self-titled EP. Gonna record that, polish that, put it on the shelf, start working on the new stuff. And yeah, all the bands we played with, again, Red Hour, Monodyssey, Cactus Flower, Jay, Spoonful, all the bands we played
All the
with.
comedians that we've
Yeah.
managed to play shows with, that have been on
Seen
weird ass
already.
tickets on. You guys have been awesome because that one comedian that jammed with us, like, ended up like singing Walk.
I think.
Like-
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
Well, shout out that guy if you're watching, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Cena Ray, Stokely's, The Spot,
Yes.
Harlingen, Yabaria Cultura, when we did play them a few times. Shout out to everybody, Chewy, Raul, all the other people that supported us, and we're looking forward to bringing it again and again.
For
Yeah.
y'all.